If you want to see how I made this label using Canva and my thermal printer, go ahead and stick around. And maybe eventually I'll clean this area, but that's not what this video is about today. So I am using Canva on my iPhone using the Pro version, but I'm sure you can use the free version and get just as good detailed labels. I'm just using the Pro version. You're going to click on that plus sign at the bottom of the screen and it's going to bring you here, and you are going to click on custom size. This will depend on whatever size your labels that you're making. If they're circles, if they're rectangles, just change it to the size that fits your labels. Mine is going to be for 4 by 6 inches, so I changed it to inches, and the width is 4 and the height is 6. Then I'm going to click on create new design. And the screen will look like this. It's going to be a blank image for you to create your design on. This normally pops up first, and I do like to create my text first with my designs, so that's what I'm going to do, is click on the text at the bottom, and then I'm going to click add a text box, and then you can put whatever text you need to put here. Mine is going to be for my daughter's learning center, where I have something that I want to put a label on with her name, and it's going to say Ryland Academy. So I'm going to type out Ryland Academy. Whatever text you need is what you would do here, and you can also go in and change the fonts. Canva has a whole lot of fonts, not just on the Pro version that you can find on the free version. I knew that I wanted something that would be easy for her to read, yet still kid friendly. So something silly and playful, but she can still read it. So I like the font Chewy, and that's what I'm going to use, but you can use whatever font or whatever text you need to put on your label. At this point, I am going to go back to this screen because I have my font that I want, and I'm going to go over to where it says position, and once I click on that, it will bring you here. I'm going to go to where it says advanced, and I'm going to rotate it so that it is 90 degrees. So this was me fumbling through trying to remember where it's actually at, and it's under advanced. And then that little square, it says rotate. I'm going to rotate my text 90 degrees, which makes it look this way because I don't want it to be portrait. I do want it to look landscape on my label. Once I have that ready, the next thing is going to be getting me a border. And I already had one before, so basically all you have to do for inserting things is you would click on elements, type in what you want. I already have mine up here, so it's going to be a rectangle border that I look for, and that's what I'm going to use. Now I'm just going to resize it based on how big I want it to be on my actual label, and that looks pretty good to me. But I do want to go back into position, and I'm going to go to align this time to make sure that it is centered. So I want it centered and in the middle. Now that I have it centered and in the middle, my next step is going in to get different elements that go with my theme. Since this is a learning area, I am going to be putting up little images from like school themed items basically. But I do play around with the text size here just to make sure it looks the way I want it to look before I go in and add those further details, so more images. And just before I move on, making sure everything is centered, not just my rectangle but also my text, and it looks good to me. So before I made this video, I did do a run through just to make sure it worked, and I already looked up some images. Whenever you're using the thermal printer, it will print out in black and white, so just use black images that you can find. I'll click on elements, and I had already searched for these, and what I looked for was school supplies in black and white, and that's what I already had. So now I'm just adding those images and placing them where I want them to be. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do plan on showing other versions similar to this video. I'm going to make a label for my daughter's pencil case that she's taking to school. I'm also going to label my dog's food in food bins, I guess you can say. I have a container that has her food in it, and it also has her leashes and like different things that we use for her. So I want to make a label for both of those. So I'll have those videos. Should be posted now because they're going up at the same time. But like I said, I ran out of the elements that I already searched for, and I just wanted to use some more. So in that search bar, I'm going to put school supplies, black and white, because like I said, you're only going to be able to do black and white. The thermal printer does not use ink. It's going to come out in black. And I would say that's the only drawback, but you don't have to pay for ink. So I guess that's a plus as well. So this is me just adding in all the elements that I want. And like I said, you don't have to have the pro version for this. There's a lot of these images that are free. So even if you don't have Canva Pro, this should still work out for you. And this is me just playing around with the sizing, seeing how many more images I want to add. And I'm just adding them to around the border of my label. Now that I have my design the way that I want it, it is time to download this to my phone. So I click on the little icon at the top to share, and then this screen comes up and you will click download. Make sure it's in the PNG version, and it's going to save it to your photos. Once you're in your photos, you can click at the bottom where it's asking you to share it again. And I do not have it up here for some reason, but I do have to scroll through these and click where it says more. And then I'm going to scroll down to where it says Jaden's printer, because it's already set up with my phone. I already have the app and everything ready to go. Once I am here, I am going to click print. As long as your device is on, it should be ready for you to click print. I'm going to click that and it will look like this. So just make sure that you're checking to make sure you spelled everything correctly and it looks the way that you want it to look. And you can make copies of this. It doesn't have to just be one. And these are just the other details that you can play around with. But I'm going to click print and it is going to go to my thermal printer, and this is what it looks like. It does not have to dry. It's very quick. I did not speed this part of the video up. It's ready to go. It's ready to be put on whatever item you want to put your label on. And this is why I put my label on for my daughter's learning center. Thanks for watching.